Here is a pattern that I drew out with pencil. It's the shape of this saddle skirt. Actually, I used a let's see, I used a saddle maker's awl to transfer this pattern to the wet leather. Just draw that on there like that, then come back with a swivel tool, and this happens to be the swivel tool that I used. It's got a 3/8 inch diameter or width blade. It's the narrow one that's hollow ground, and this is a brass Berry King swivel tool. I lay the dry skirt right on top of the wet skirt, and using a cobbler's hammer I'll tap this top skirt here. Make sure that's lined up. Now I'm going to use a Craftool 888 for the background work itself. The bevelers I'll be using are Craftool B802. That's a medium-sized beveler. And the one I'll be using the most will be the Craftool B803. I like the crosshatch on those. It's somewhat coarse. I like that. And then this is kind of a vintage leather tool. It's a pear-shaped bruiser with straight lines that I'll be coming in here to detail these leaves out. I'll kind of mash that down there on the end to give that some depth. First thing I do is bevel around everything and then come back, then I'll bruise my leaves, and then come back and put my cut marks in, and then do the background with that little tool, that little the little Craftool 888.